Hey, hey, hey. Good morning. Oh, okay. Mm. It is 9:24 on a Tuesday morning, and welcome to an episode of TED Talk Tuesday on Bronx Girl Podcast. Listen, I'm streaming from StreamYard, so I'm streaming to two different channels of my YouTube. So one is called Insight, this one, Insight and Perspective with Bronx Girl, and the other one is Minding Men Business Female Perspective, right? I think it's a female perspective. So I'm streaming live again from StreamYard. I'm taking advantage of this offer that they have. You can stream live. Like if you go and upgrade your package right now, I can't afford to upgrade my package. That's like $90 a month, 89.99 a month. So no. So I'm taking advantage of it now and see if I can get and persuade some new subscribers and supporters. But today I figured I'll title it TED Talk Tuesdays, Male Podcasters. That'll be our topic for today. I'll just go off the grid. I'll just talk off the top of my head, freestyle, you know. And yeah, so if someone drop by and is interested in more of my commentary, make sure you subscribe and like the page and drop a comment. I'm on StreamYard, so I really don't know why it's not popping up of the many people that's in here or the comments, but I'm going to go for an hour and then I'm going to publish the clips, hopefully. So if you hear me say clip that in the middle of my sentence, I'm just talking to the AI generated um page because they generate clips of your show just to boost my page, my channel. All right. So let's just get started. And then what's so crazy is I need like a whole system for podcasting. You want to have the correct equipment, like the microphone and just things so your audience can have a better listening experience. I've been reading some articles about how to not be anxious or nervous when hosting a podcast because even though I'm here by myself, I still get nervous. I still jump ahead of myself. I still fumble over my words. I know I don't have to, but with some exercise and relaxation tips, I am going to follow them so at least the audience can be stay engaged, with this podcast. So let's just jump right into it. But like before I jump into it, I just want everyone to let me see. Oh man. And oh, good morning. How are you? I see a comment, Mona, because I got my phone upside down. Hi, good morning. How are you? Um, So we'll get started. Listen, if you know me, if you're a brave heart, then you already know my formula. You know how I function. You know how I operate. But for the new people, it may be a little bit, probably off putting or probably intriguing. But just sit back and relax. I go in, I touch topics, I talk about things people probably don't notice or pick up on, the small details we talk about over here. We dissect them, we throw it up in the air. That's how we do over here. So uh sit back and relax, and because I want to talk about this topic, male podcasters. um and if everyone don't know, like podcasting, even if you want to do something on the side or you have a decent job and you don't need to do podcasting, like tell your friends that talk a lot of shit that have something to say to get a podcast, because that's going to be the next wave. Now, if you take and pay attention to like YouTube, it is dominated by males, men. That just it's a male dominated field, podcasting, and I listen to more men, some now more than ever, than like women podcasting. I still listen to women, of course, no doubt, but I now feel that I think I'm brave enough and mature enough to listen to men. Because at one point in time, I was like, I can't be listening to men. They just talk so much dumb shit and they don't make any sense. Not all of them, but when you find like a man or men that have a podcast and they make sense, you definitely want to listen to them because they definitely don't have a problem with um, letting you know to the outside world how men think. And this is why I'm over here doing the research, listening in, coming back, reporting to my supporters, reporting to the Bravehearts, and hopefully some men will definitely subscribe just to hear a female perspective. But with the information that I got from men, okay? So and then they'll say they'll determine whether we women are logical or irrational because all we doing is repeating, rebutting, responding to what the men are saying. It's commentary, it's a reaction, right? So this is the opportunity for men to at least build up their critical thinking skills and say, well, can make their own decisions. Just not listen to one person, and that's men. See, my phone keep, and it's 9:30 now, so I'm gonna go into the commentary. Damn, why is this keep? I'm sorry, y'all. This is the my phone is keep going dark, so I don't know. One day I'll get it together. Please don't give up on me. So listen, okay, let's just get started with the number one offender, Vlad TV. And before I get started, let me just repeat again, like during this, live during this podcast show, I will be saying clip that just for that AI generated, to generate my clips so I could publish. So just sit back and listen. Um, okay, so let's get started with Vlad TV. I don't know. I'm gonna just get right into it. I really don't watch him at all. I mean, it depends on who he has on his show. He's just not the type of person that I will watch or be interested in. Um, at most, at best, Vlad TV is a manipulator, and he could be very, deceitful. Clip that. He have on a lot of hip hop stars, a lot of black people, a lot of black men, a lot of black women run to him and give interviews. And he, do interviews. His form of interviewing is really manipulative. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but that's how Vlad TV like formula, his technique, his platform is very manipulative, and he like to play people against one another, especially men in hip hop. And I'm not going to even say the black men. I just said that black men go and visit. I know. I know. Hey, girl. Hey, hey. Good morning. You know why I'm on two lives? Because I was like, someone coming down the stream, and they'll just pop in. But I'm streaming from two lives because I have this what is this trial where with StreamYard you could stream from two lives. Now I could see your comments and how many people's in here. But yeah, hopefully one day I could build up that other channel. But until then, we out here. But thank you, Lasagna. Yeah, I, and that's the thing. Like with Streamyard now, you could stream like across the whole platform, and I don't have that many people in here. And so I just wanted to take advantage of the trial error because it's 89.99 a month to do this every month. I can't afford that, not right now. But yeah, so listen, y'all sit back and relax. I'm gonna go back into it. I didn't even know it was a comment. I'm gonna try to turn the phone around. I don't know how I sound out there. That's why I had a little bit of you know, problem with the last slide because I don't know. I'm just gonna get right into it. So I was talking about Vlad TV. Listen, I don't know what to say about Vlad. Is that I really am not a fan of his. Like I feel like he's really a manipulative person, man. He plays people against one another, right? And a lot of people would say that Vlad is, racist. I don't think he's racist. I think he's a creep. That's what I think he is. Well, I mean, most races are creeps, right? but he's not a racist. He's just creepy, and he likes to play people against one another. They say that Vlad TV is the cops, the FBI, or whatever. But in one particular, because I've been watching the men, it's really hard for me to watch men, right? But now that I'm growing up and things are a little bit more, I'm becoming more open minded. I can tune in to men that make sense. The only time I think Vlad TV gave a great interview is when he interviewed Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels was squirming in his chair. He was being all defensive. And I just checked that out and that was it. But currently, the male podcasters that dominate this field are fighting. They're going back and forth. And it's so fun to watch. I'm having fun watching them going at each other throat because they fight over the dumbest shit. You know what's so crazy about how men fight? The way, okay, this is how it is. And this is why I will always be for women and a girl's girl and empower women all across the board. Good morning from work. Hi, Teresa. Good morning. How are you? I know a lot of my supporters work. They are, have decent jobs, have nice jobs, and if you ever want to stream this live and share it with your coworkers, go right ahead. I will appreciate that so much. But getting back to Vlad, and thank you for listening and tuning in to my supporters, and most importantly, the brave hearts. But with the male podcasters that has dominated this section so they did it, they took over. Right? It's no room for me. I'm not stopping until I get a foot in the door or till I just get inside and have a seat or a seat at the table, right? So they fighting, they going after each one another. And you know what I like in my research and in my observation of men when they fight, the way they fight is the same way that they ridicule and scrutinize us women for, right? So men podcasters, from what I've been seeing, they will accuse. I got a text. No, I'm not answering that. With them, they accuse one another. Damn, she keeps texting me. I'm sorry, y'all. They will accuse one another just like they accuse women. But when they accuse women, and make assumptions about women, and then women like respond or challenge them. They think women are being combative or argumentative. This is the same thing they do with each other. They accuse one another of something, they make assumptions, they jump to conclusions, and they fight like little females, which they will call us females. Right. So that's what I've learned about men and when they on these podcasts and like they are very defensive. Men are very defensive and aggressive, but that's not important right now. We're talking about the male podcasters, and I was talking about Vlad TV, how he is so manipulative, how he plays people against one another. And a lot of people will say that he is the cop. He's a cop. He worked for the feds. No, he doesn't. He's just manipulative. He's just deceitful. He's just not to be trusted, right? The way he speak, the way he think. I can say that with great confidence. Okay. Vlad TV is the one to not like. I mean, I'm pretty sure he got a lot of black friends and they trust him and they feel like he, when they don't have nowhere to go, they could go to Vlad TV and watch Vlad TV. Clip that. Um, but when they get there, it's something totally different. What he tried to do is try to get them comfortable and making them believe that he is their actual friend when he's not their actual friend. He just want views. And I'm not saying this with all of his guests, but one incident he had, and I'm going to speak about it. This is the one I want them to clip. So I'm going to take my time. So he had Vlad TV had Mano on his show and they were talking and they were getting into some topics and conversations and the conversation was going smoothly because Mano, he's really intelligent. So he think about what he say before he answer it. So what now Mano, the reason why I brought him up is because Mano have a podcast with Jim Jones. I spoke about this before. Jim Jones, Fabulous, and Dave East. Clip that. So Mano was on the show. Vlad TV brought up Dave East, not um canceling a scheduled interview that they had. He brought it up to Mano in this interview and said that what Vlad said that Dave East don't like him, or he think he don't like him because he canceled on him 4 times, right? That was a problem right there that I had to just like, okay, where he's going with this. Because Mano and Dave East is on the same podcast. I don't know what Vlad thought he was going to get out of Mano to say or go against Mano because I mean to go against Dave East because Dave East canceled on Mano. So in this interview, he said this is Vlad TV. He said, "Yeah, I don't think Dave East liked me very much." Mano say, "Why you say that?" He said, "Yeah, because we had 4 interviews that he canceled on, right?" He said that doesn't mean he don't like you. So now Mano see where it's going. He see the play. He said, "Listen, that don't mean that he don't like you. That means, he had other responsibilities. It could have been a mix-up or whatever." Trying to make light of the situation with Dave East and Vlad TV. So Vlad TV proceeded to say, um, he said, "Well, he canceled 4 times, and we lose money like that." So my question to Vlad TV is, how do you let someone cancel on you 4 times and you complain about it? After the first time, I wouldn't have, reached out to someone that canceled. If you cancel, that means you couldn't do it or didn't want to do it. But if you wanted to do it, the person that canceled, they will follow up and be like, "I'm available on this day," right? After the first time. I'm not reaching back out to you after the first time. So he tried to get Mano in the middle of it and said to Mano, "Listen, he canceled on me. He don't like me." So Mano had to let him know that doesn't mean he don't like you. That doesn't mean that it has anything to do with you. Maybe it was just a misunderstanding. Okay. They got that, pushed that to the side because Mano wasn't falling for the bullshit. So now push come to shove, fast forward. Vlad TV had on 6ix9ine, and he brought up the same incident with 6ix9ine that he brought up with Mano about Dave East. Now, what Vlad TV did in this um, interview with 6ix9ine is he used 6ix9ine as his mouthpiece. He used 6ix9ine to say and get smart and get nasty and say slick shit against Dave East, and that's exactly what happened. And he had platform Mano before he platformed 6ix9ine. So now in this interview with 6ix9ine and Vlad TV, Vlad TV had the opportunity to rant and rave and say smart, stupid shit against Dave East. He did say that Dave East reached out to him and it was a misunderstanding. They had a back and forth, about the scheduling or whatever. It seemed like Vlad TV wanted smoke, right? It seemed like Vlad TV had like was like took it personal. Like it seemed like Vlad TV what felt disrespected because he was so dumb that he scheduled and rescheduled 3 times after a cancellation. But the kicker is Mano asked Vlad TV if a woman, and this is how I'm paraphrasing, if a woman canceled on you, what would you do? Vlad TV said, "Oh, I'm not taking that. I wouldn't go out with her. I'll just, whatever, not have anything to do with her." After the first cancellation, he said he would like just cut her off and just, whatever. She could go about her way. But then he said, with Dave East canceling on him 4 times, money that he lost 4 times, he has a problem with that. So he didn't see what Mano did. Like he didn't know that Mano was making a distinction between a man and a woman. A man canceled on you 4 times and you came after him like 4 times to get an interview. The first time wasn't the warning. Clip that. The second and third time you still reached out to another man to get an interview and you said you lost money, but you said if a woman was to cancel on you, then you would just like cut her off. You see what I'm saying? Vlad TV, you are like really creepy. We already know that you have a strong dislike against women, and you use a lot of you throw out a lot of dog whistles, right? I'm not saying that Vlad TV is racist, but what I'm saying is that he do throw out lots of dog whistles, and the men that go on his show probably already know it. They just know that this is a stop before the next to go get an interview, give Vlad an interview, right? Men, the brotherhood is crumbling, and I'm glad it is, because I could see like the pokes, the holes all inside of it. But that's not the point. The point is like, these male podcasters, they get up here, they have a platform, and they have the opportunity and a chance to discuss topics and issues. But what they're doing is they are definitely giving us women insight into how men think, and let us know as women how men think, and sharing that with us women, which I am grateful for. I want to make this like content for real, because I'm just getting the information from men mouth, especially with Vlad TV. He's a troublemaker. You know, he's just a troublemaker. He tried to trip up and play Mano and Dave East against one another, but that was crazy. Then he had Takashi 69 on his uh show, and Takashi 69 was his mouthpiece for Vlad TV. Clip that. Vlad TV used 6 9 as his Takashi 6 9 as his mouthpiece to spit crazy shit at other people. Clip that, and then Vlad TV come in, try to clean up, like, no, that's my boy Mano, my man. They, not Davies, but fuck, like the regular dumb shit. So all these men that is displaying feminine traits is really, really appreciated. Okay, wait. My okay, StreamYard is back. The screen went black. So next, of course, I was just talking about Let's Rap About It, the podcast with Mano Davies and Jim Jones and Fabulous. They put out a video every Wednesday. I think it's a good show. I don't watch all of it. They talk about everything. They don't talk about people in particular, but they talk about like a variety of things. It's a good podcast to watch. I could watch that podcast because some of the men, most of them, not all of them, like, well, let's just say all of them because it's a pack, have sense. And that's something y'all should check out. But the thing I want to get into before I get off of here, and this is for the men, right? This, I guess, if you're a woman and you know a man that's a particular age and he's into hip hop, and he's open to listening to women talk about different perspectives, well, speak from a different perspective, then here, this is the podcast for you. But, and that's the thing, like podcasting now is taking off. I just read, and that's what I wanted to go back to the women. Like, listen, if you want to make extra money on the side, podcasting is definitely something that you should look into. Like, podcasting is not easy to get into. You definitely have to have someone else to co-host with you to make it a little bit more um interesting, or at least have a chance of making a decent podcast. But that's okay. I'm gonna try until I try. I'm not gonna I've been asking women, I'm like, yo, you want to start a podcast? Not to start a podcast, have you ever thought about starting a podcast? And they have many excuses, and these are women that I feel like money, everybody need extra money, and I'll just leave it at that. But listen, so yesterday I was on YouTube doing what I do, checking shit out. And and this is another way how men are so I appreciate you letting us women know, like, us women that you call difficult and crazy and delusion and all this shit, because we can think for ourselves, and we have can make our own decisions and choices. Thank you. So yesterday, oh my goodness, I'm on YouTube, and I don't know if y'all know Max B. Max B was accused of being a snitch and a rat. Click that. What I want to say is because I don't want to like because I don't get into like the large or minor details of like hip hop, like with the rap, the ratting and the snitching, but I just analyze how the men, and this is mostly what I should say and clear it up. When I watch male podcasters or casting, my male podcasters or just whatever male dominated fields like podcasting. um, I watch it just for insight and perspective on how men think. Not necessarily the issues, but sometimes I can answer and sometimes I can't because I didn't like grow up like a heavy hip hop rap person. But yesterday, Whack 100 went on, I think it was four of them. Well, it was a panel. Let me just say that. Um, he was hosting along with four other men from New York City. Now, mind you, Whack 100 is not from New York City, and this is how I feel like men. mm, this is where y'all really get it twisted. This is where men really are not aware of themselves, right? Let's just jump into it. He went on a panel with four other men, Whack 100, to drop paperwork on Max B, right? This is the only time men read is when they drop paperwork on someone else. But my point is, okay, Max B, he was locked up. I don't know the ins and outs. I know that he went, he got locked up. He said he been locked up in and out of jail all of his life. So I really can't pinpoint when he went to jail and what he went to jail for. But he was facing 75 years. And for a long time, since because Maxby just recently came home last year, and now since he came home, people are saying that he's snitch and he's a rat. But that's not my problem. This is not. I don't care if he's a rat or snitch or not because I don't have any like relationship with him or anyone else that's a rat or snitch. But what I'm saying is when men talking about they protect and provide, and when men talking about they are warriors, and when men talking about that they are rational and logical and that they lead and all this bullshit that they lie about and make up, right? A perfect example, and I'm going to just lay it right out. A perfect example of men of not being aware of themselves is when WAC 100 came on a panel of a panel of four other men or three other men, whatever. It was Hassan Campbell. He's from the Bronx. I don't know, nah, he just killed me as a person, a man that's from the Bronx. Then it was another guy named Harlem Legend. He's from Harlem, of course. And then there was another guy, Brim. I forgot his name. I mean, his full name. I don't know where he's from, but he had on like a cowboy hat. So Whack 100 get up there. He dropped the paperwork on Max B. I think Harlem Legend didn't know what he was talking about. So Whack 100 had to explain it. But the crazy shit is Whack 100 come on and then Whack 100 came on another panel of New York City men panel to drop paperwork from another person that's from New York City, Harlem, New York. That was just like so disrespectful, right? I don't know what Harlem and those other men from New York City was thinking to let Whack 100 come on their panel and drop paperwork on another man that's from their town, that's from their city, that's from their state. And the crazy shit is Whack 100, he was telling Harlem Legend TV, like, because Harlem Legend TV really didn't know, so he had to clarify. He said, "Oh, so what is this about?" He said, "Oh, I told you I had paperwork on, and I got the paperwork on Max B that he is a snitch, that he is a rat, and this is what Wax said. He had to use a disclaimer. He said, "Oh, well, I'm not trying to start any trouble with New York." Yes, you are. You are trying to start trouble with New York. Whack 100. Whack 100. You are starting trouble, and you probably have started trouble with New York by dropping paperwork on someone's panel from New York City, Harlem and the Bronx, to be exact. You are starting trouble. You have started trouble. Clip that, right? And for Harlem Legend TV to fall into that trap to get sucked up, that's crazy. You should have been more on point, Harlem Legend TV, right? He had Whack 100 even had the finesse of telling Harlem Legend TV to keep reading. Every time he read something out loud, he's like, keep reading. So now he's making it seem like, oh no, I wasn't reading that shit off. Harlem Legend TV was. He started reading it off. And then I guess Harlem Legend caught on and said, listen, I don't, this is all jumbled up. I just got this. I wasn't ready for this. So Whack 100 had to come in and read the rest until it got to where they was gonna point out that Max B was a rat or what is it called, or a snitch. Hassan Campbell was in the background. Was like, I don't want to hear no more. Right? He did try to step in and be a Bronx real ass dude and be like, nah, I don't want to hear no more. The first paragraph I heard enough. Right? I guess he was trying to come and save Harlem Legend TV. But the fact that men get caught up is so hateful, and then men be like, oh, women, they hate each other, they don't really like each other. Like, y'all really let someone from another town, another state, come on your panel and drop paperwork from someone that's from your town and from your state and Harlem at that, right? I don't care if Max B is a snake or a snitch or a rat. That has nothing to do with. I'm not the streets. I'm not the streets. Like, that's street shit. Like dropping paperwork on someone else and seeing if they a rat or a snitch, and it matters to them, right? But the point is where men get it twisted and they fail to realize where they went wrong is you don't think before you act, right? I don't know what is going to take place or what damage was done after Harlem Legend TV, Hassan Campbell, and that other guy and Whack 100 decided to read paperwork on Max B. But it's just crazy because the part that I'm explaining is crazy is because Whack 100 always had it out, it seemed like, for Max B. But the more important part of the situation is that Whack 100 was allowed to drop paperwork on a panel of men that is from New York City. Clip that. Whack 100 said himself, he's like, I'm not trying to start trouble with New York City. So he knew what he was doing when he came up there and he decided to drop paperwork on someone's panel that's from New York City, and to be exact, from Harlem also. Hassan Campbell said he from the Bronx. I didn't know. He just, I'm sorry, side note. Hassan Campbell, you don't give me Bronx guy vibes. I don't know. You said you from where? River Park? I don't know, you know. Now you said you live in a middle class neighborhood. Like, how much? Upper middle class? But that's not the point. All right. I do give Hassan Campbell credit. I do give you credit, Hassan Campbell. You did try to intervene when Whack 100 kept telling Harlem Legend TV to keep reading. And he said that shit like 5 or 6 times. Hassan Kim was like, I don't even want to hear no more. I didn't even want to hear from the first paragraph I was done. So I give you credit for that. You did intervene and stop something from escalating. But my point is, and before I end, I will say this: men, you just are very unaware of your actions, and you just seem, well, you can't seem to understand how you may get into trouble like you do, right? I mean, this is not a lecture, this is the truth. It just blew my mind that another man from another town in another city and state was able to manipulate and entice another man from New York City to drop and read paperwork from someone else from Harlem, New York City. It just doesn't make sense, right? Like, what he did yesterday was show that we eat our own, that men eat their own, not me. All right, men eat their own. The brotherhood is crumbling, and I thank you. I want Mel podcaster to keep dominating because we women that's trying to get a foot in the door. We ain't gonna stop. But listen, let me see. Okay, I gotta end this because It's 9:59. Oh, 9:59. I went a whole good 35 minutes. All right. There we go. I'll stop at 35 minutes. Thank you for listening to my insight and perspective. And yes, we're going to keep minding men business. Have a good day, y'all.